I'm not sure why I chose to play that song that fast, but that was actually In Bloom. It's the first time that I used the picking pattern that I'm going to be talking about today. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm actually going to switch over to the game for a second to show you what I've updated. I've actually been working on it all day, and I think you're going to laugh when you see what is new on it, but I think you'll enjoy it. So let me switch the screens over. Hopefully we're not seeing any code instead of the game. Let me switch it. And it is black, so that's good. And if I hit F5, then it starts up. So here we see on the screen, I have the character, and now I can go over to the crate, and I can hit enter, and oh, I didn't find anything, so we're gonna move on. Um, and then I can go back and we can look at the bed maybe. There's a sheet. Um, and so right now I don't have the inventory in place. These are all just placeholder announcements. But are you ready for the quality entertainment of the season? You can die over and over and over again. And that's pretty much all you can do in the game right now is die. I'm debating putting this up on my itch.io page as the first downloadable. Obviously, this whole game is going to be free, but I think it'd be funny just to see what people's reactions are as they scroll through the pages and see this random game that just all you can do is die and find things that don't actually exist. But I don't know. I'm pretty close to actually having gameplay, so I'll probably hold off until you can at least solve the puzzle of this room and get out. But so that's pretty much everything with the game right now. I'm gonna switch it back, and we can get into the lesson on guitar for today. So let me exit out of that, and we'll switch back to the full screen mode. So I have the camera angled slightly different from normal. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna stand up so that you can actually see the guitar, and the guitar is closer to the mic and whatnot. But um, so I'll get that chair out of the way. That's still, that's in the shot, whatever. Okay, so here's a good view of the guitar. I might angle it up a little bit more. There we go. Now you can see the whole guitar. So there's one picking pattern that I've kind of done with a lot of the songs on here. I did this picking pattern with I Will Follow You Into the Dark. I did this with Starry Starry Night, with A-Team. And the reason that I like it is it's not too hard once you practice it, but it can really change the whole complexity of the song. So the way that this picking pattern works is you're gonna just pick a chord over here on with your left hand, and then everything in terms of the picking pattern is with your right hand, obviously. So what it's gonna start out with is the top note of whatever chord you've picked. I've picked C, and then the second to last string. So, and then you're gonna go. So it's thumb, fourth finger, index, middle finger. So thumb, index, thumb and forefinger, index, middle finger, then thumb, four. So, and then you go back to the index and middle finger. So it's that's pretty much it. So I usually do one cycle of that. So let me just repeat that in case I didn't do a good explanation of that. It's thumb and fourth finger at the same time. So then index, middle, thumb, fourth. So that's the general pattern. And I would suggest if you want to actually get this down, just pick a chord and continue doing that over and over again. And then what I usually do is after one cycle of that, I switch to instead of picking the fifth string here, or second string if you're starting from the bottom, I pick the last string. So it's an alternation between this and this. And I think actually when I do that alternation, I leave out the last note. So instead of hitting the fourth string with your third finger on that last one, I leave that off to start the next cycle. So the real pattern is that, and then this. And the beauty of this is that it's not restricted to the C chord. Whatever you do over here is not really talking to what you're doing over here with your right hand. So what you can do is you can switch to a G chord, and all you're changing with your right hand is that your thumb is working on the top string instead of the second string. So you can go. And then, so all you have to do is you can continue that, and then after 2 cycles of each, you can switch between chords. Now, that one gets a little interesting. I tend to just overplay the fourth string. You could also try and find another bass note to work with, like with F, you could do the bar chord F. But it does get problematic when you go down to chords that are only the bottom 4 strings, because it gets just kind of crowded and you end up double working the top string, the fourth one. Yeah, so it's kind of your choice. If it is a chord that could possibly just play A open, then I will do that. And then, but in terms of that, that's just kind of messing around with what you're doing with your left hand, and figuring out what you want to do with each specific chord. So that's the basics of it, and you can really take that and just implement it into whatever chord progression you want. So like I said, I did I Will Follow You Into the Dark. So you have starts out with A minor. And I find that I can throw in a couple extra little licks here. So what I'll do is, if it's a quick change of chords and you don't really get that full cycle out, I'll pause. So I'll go. So I go the pluck with both fingers, and then my index finger, and then I just go to the next chord. So once you get the initial pattern down of just the picking back and forth between the 5th and the 6th string, you can really just play around with it and see what extra stuff you can add in. So what I tend to do is I try to have things where I'm maybe walking down before I go to the next chord, so you can get that bass roll down. It's almost like you have a whole band with you. And that's pretty much it. And like I said, it does get a little confusing if you try to go down to just 4 strings. You could try moving the whole thing down so that you're only ever playing the 6th string. And then if you want to get that alternation, you can figure something out with your pinky. So, as opposed to the switching back and forth between strings with your right hand. So that's pretty much it. And you can throw this into whatever song. If you find a song that only has just the chords, or perhaps you're trying to look on how to learn a song, but the picking pattern is too difficult, and you don't want to just play chords, you can play this picking pattern, and if you give it the right feel, then you can kind of mesh it into whatever song you want. And that's what I like about it. Now I try to spice things up if I'm doing a cover of something because I don't want to just be playing the same picking pattern all the time. But it kind of just comes down to whatever works for the song. So if you practice this, it can really improve just how you pick up general songs because a lot of songs, if they have picking patterns in them, it's usually some kind of variation of that. It's a very popular picking pattern. So I don't know the actual name of it if it has a name. If you do know that, please leave that in the comments. I'd be interested to know. But other than that, that's pretty much the whole thing. So I'm gonna switch it over to the random drawing, and we'll get that going. Okay. Just setting up paint. I don't know why I didn't previously set it up, but it is set up now. So I can put this guy over here, and then we should be able to get this going. Just gotta switch out the mouse. I really need to get myself a splitter for the USBs so that I can have more than one in at a time in terms of mice. Um, but yeah, so let's see what our random drawing is going to be. I'm just going to switch the tool on paint over to the pencil. And so I have my random word paper. We're going to get some random numbers. I realized the last time I did this, I tried to use Siri for the random words, and apparently my microphone doesn't work in the front-facing situation. It only works if I'm taking a video in the forward, like the far, looking away camera. So I don't know what that problem is. I might have to re-download my software or something. But okay, so we have our random words, and I have my calculator. We're gonna get a random number between. Let's see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that have been used, so 0 and 19. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it's just, oh no, there's 7. Yeah, okay, there's 7 that have been used, so 1 through 18. I was going to say, I was pretty sure that 19 was the number we used last time. So I'll go ahead and click the random number. It is 1, so that is light bulb for our noun. I'm going to click it again, and that is 14. So 14, but shifted down 1, we're going to have thrusting, and our our adjective or adverb is going to be number 6, which is going to be 6 is here. That means it's shifted down 3, it's shifted down 2 more, shifted down 1 more, fuzzy. So that's the 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So we have a fuzzy thrusting light bulb. I'm starting to question the word choices by Megan and her sister when they made this, but you know, it's getting some interesting combinations, and I'm sure the titles are a little bit clickbait. Okay, so let's see if we have. I'm just trying to think of why a light bulb. You know what? I do have an idea. Okay, so we're gonna get this rectangle going. Oh, I'm zoomed in really far. Okay, that's the reason. All right, we'll keep it that way. We'll keep it that way. So we're gonna get this diamond, going. And then, so right now we're getting kind of a top view. Um, I, that the circle's fine, but the line was not where I wanted it to be on the circle. So we're gonna adjust that. And then, so we're getting, now, oddly enough, this is not the light bulb. This is actually a disco ball. Um, and so I'm gonna color that in gray, I guess. Disco balls are usually a silver color, but on our limited palette, we don't have silver to work with. So there's a disco ball, and then on the dance floor, we're going to have our light bulb. And I think I actually had light bulb as a word on my previous set, but then again, I did not make this set of words. Um, and so we're going to personify this light bulb a little bit, and he's going to be doing the disco or something. But what is fuzzy about him, you may ask, is he has this big fluffy jacket on that in itself has some fur on it. So we're going to color in the jacket, and then we're going to color in the light bulb. So the light bulb is going to have a yellow color, and then just the last few pixels there should be yellow. And then, so I guess the light bulb itself can be giving off some light as well. And then for the jacket, it's going to just be a fuzzy jacket, and maybe he's got a scarf on too. But to show that there's some motion, we're going to put those lines in to show some vibrations, and then, oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay, so obviously you can't see any of this. So, there we go. Now you can see what I'm talking about a little bit. I'm really sorry about the lack of professionalism here on the channel lately. So I'll finish this off by adding some lines in here. Perhaps I could pick a different color. And so what we're doing is we're just kind of filling out the dance floor so that it is a dance floor. I'm not sure why this one is way over there, but okay. And then some of these. And we're almost done with the picture. This should be right there. And there we go. So now what we can do with this grid is we can just color it random colors, and that should make this a fun experience for all. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay, the curse of not finishing lines is continuing with my streams. I'm gonna leave that one. but I think you get the picture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna leave some of these blank, and then I'm going to color in the background a tan color. So now we have an actual dance floor. Now, oddly enough, the colors around him aren't very prominent, so I'll probably color in a couple more of these. But I think that is what we're calling it as a picture. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I know this stream wasn't too long because the explanation at the start wasn't too long, and then the guitar video wasn't too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. I hope you guys enjoyed the picture, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a tax episode organized for tomorrow, but I do have a couple guests in mind for who could be on the next guest stream. And as I mentioned, the stock market will begin the week of that guest stream, the first one that I have from this point on. So I do need to make the modifications to the stock market. Keep an eye out on Facebook for when I upload my first version of the game, because that should be fairly soon. And then other than that, I'll at least see you Tuesday, if not tomorrow. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I gotta switch my mouse out. I'm gonna kill that beeping, so thanks for watching.